back.
All right, I'll take it with Bone, and then when Kyle comes back, I'm done. But Bone, we have an enormous flip. The second one from LSU to Alabama today. What do you know about this guy?
Man, he's electric. One of the most explosive football players in the entire country. We've talked about these different wide receivers that Alabama has been able to land in this recruiting class, from Agiye Hall, Christian Leary, Ja'Cory Brooks. I mean, it is a exceptional wide receiver, maybe one of the best wide receiver classes Alabama's been able to put together. Well, we'll always compare it probably to that 2017 group with Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and Devontae Smith. But on paper, this is 4 wide receivers who are all rated inside the Rivals 100. This is an awesome group of players. Not only in the Rivals 100, but they're top 70. These are 4 guys that rated in the top 70 overall players in the country. This is a very explosive guy. People have really compared him to Jalen Waddle. I mean, just the way that he performs that on the football field, his ability to make plays all over the field. Not only as a pass catcher, but in the return game. Alabama has struck out a few times. There was last year they struck out on 2 very explosive wide receivers that they really wanted, and Arian Smith, who signed with Georgia, and also Kashawn Booty, who signed with LSU. Those are 2 speed guys that they really wanted. They missed out on both of them. This year, they get 4 awesome wide receivers, including 2 guys who are extremely explosive playmakers. This is a huge get for Alabama. We were not talking about Jojo Earle going into today. I mentioned him as a potential possibility later on. If there were some spots available, mentioned him on I guess it was yesterday. Keep an eye on for Jojo Earle in case he does not sign with LSU on Wednesday today. And then this morning we started hearing very strongly he definitely was not going to sign with LSU. To really watch out for Alabama. We did a little bit of digging just to kind of see. Alabama was still kind of waiting, making sure that they had a spot available right now. There were obviously some kids who were announcing decisions today. Sage Ryan, Mason Smith, Xavier Worthy, Xavier Sorey. Those are all decisions that Alabama was waiting on. And I think when we kind of learned that those guys were all going somewhere else, it really opened up the door for Jojo Earle to potentially, not only potentially flip to Alabama, but to flip to Alabama today. And we weren't expecting that early on. And I think that the Alabama coaching staff, kept things pretty under wraps regarding him. This is a big blow to LSU. Alabama delivered 2 huge blows to LSU today. They may not have landed Mason Smith, which was an monumental task. They may not have flipped Sage Ryan, another monumental task to do. But they go and get 2 kids who are both out-of-state kids, one from Texas, one from Florida, that they, had very high interest in for a long time. With Jojo Earle, there was always interest there. But they had 3 wide receiver commitments, and, Xavier Worthy had come in for a visit. So, and Jojo was pretty solid with LSU. And then with everything that started coming out regarding LSU, happened, it kind of opened up the door. So I certainly think that, with Alabama, this is a great pickup. It adds to a very, strong recruiting class, and, Alabama fans should be happy.
Do you think there's anyone else? Is there anyone else that could even make today? I mean, could we possibly take one from down on the plains? The coachless team that's ranked 57th or whatever they are.
No, there is one guy who decommitted from Auburn today, Jaden Roberts, who we're keeping a kind of a close eye on right now. I don't know if anything is going to happen today. It's possibly we might see something by the end of the week, or we may see something happen at the in the next signing period. I keep hearing that Alabama probably in pretty good shape with him. I don't know if he decommitted from for Alabama, but he decommitted, and we continue to hear that Alabama's in contact with him. So we'll see what happens with Jaden, but may not happen today. This might be it. But hey, if this is it, this is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, when you sign all yours and then you take 2 from your biggest rival, then that's a pretty good day. I was talking to Kyle about this earlier. You look at the state of Tennessee football right now. You look at the state of Auburn football right now, recruiting, no coach. And then you take a look at what's going on at LSU, and it's a lot of things for Alabama that are going in their direction. And this recruiting class right here, I could tell that you were. I saw that tail wagging before. You could feel something coming, and you tab this guy in, and it's like. It's not just having the number 1 recruiting class; it's having the horses to just keep this dynasty going.
If you got to get the guys that are going to, fill your needs, and you got to get the guys that are going to, to keep you, as one of the top programs in the country. I think when you look at Alabama's recruiting class, top to bottom, this is probably one of the best classes that we've seen in the Nick Saban era. I think that as of right now, you could really compare it to, any of the top classes that we've seen, not only from an Alabama perspective, but from a national perspective. Jojo Earle is now the 14th Rivals 100 commitment in Alabama's recruiting class this year. That's crazy to think. So I think that, as of right now, things are pretty good. As of right now, I also think that this is probably going to be it for today. Just from talking to a few sources in the last hour, we've been talking about Jaden Roberts. Jaden Roberts has been a guy that we've talked about that could potentially make a decision today. Starting to hear in the last 5 minutes, starting to hear maybe the last 2 minutes, but that he's going to wait until February to sign. Now, that doesn't mean Alabama's out of the mix for him there. I think Alabama is certainly I would probably put them in the driver's seat for Jaden Roberts. Now, at the same time, Alabama's probably going to take a little bit of a step back, figure out, all right, these are the guys that we have in the class right now. Who's still out there? What's the most important position for us? And then go try to get those guys. But you're also, what you're selling on, the guys now is you can be part of the best recruiting class in the history of rivals.com.
Yep.
Not just the best class this year, because there's no guys in this class that are flipping. All of these guys are signed. So you have pretty much your class. Now you're trying to add a couple more guys to it. We'll see what happens. But, hey, this is a huge pickup today with Jojo Earle. We will see if we're going to try to see if we can get him on the show here pretty soon. I know we're trying to get another Alabama commitment on. So I'm going to drop out real quick, see if we can get a couple of those guys on the show for you guys. But y'all have fun talking for a minute, and